This is on the request tip. Who was better, Danny White or Tony Romo? Football, Dallas Cowboys. Tell me what you think. Danny White led the Dallas Cowboys to 3 straight NFC Championship games. Tony Romo never got past the second round. Now, interesting argument for both. Do you go by team success or do you go by overall talent? That's the interesting debate because Danny White also doubled up as a punter, but he had the soft throwing passes that he used to throw. But he was successful. Now, granted, let's see. He had Tony Dorsett as his back. He still had Drew Pearson, Tony Hill. He still had a good defense, they was still legit. Did Romo have that? Well, Antonio Bryant, I got to put it in perspective. Dallas was still an interesting squad. They just didn't move the needle, though. But, and of course, there's a big difference when you have Jason Garrett as opposed to Tom Landry. But who got the most out of what they had? And it's an interesting argument because they were a better stack back then, and Danny White had a better component. But who was the better quarterback? That's what we're going to get to. Who do you think was the better quarterback? If you ask me, I'm going to tell you Romo in a blowout. He had a better arm, and he showed more depth. Now, Danny White won a lot of games and was, very successful, but he never got that team to the show. That would have been cool for the Oilers. That might have been cool. I can name quite a few teams that have been cool but for the Dallas Cowboys, that just wasn't good enough. It's Super Bowl or bust. So his career, because remember, he lost his job to Gary Hochulboom. I remember that 40 years ago. Hochulboom had a better arm, but he didn't have Danny White's accuracy. He had a better arm. Danny White threw them wounded ducks, but he won, and he did get them to 3 straight NFC Championships games. They lost to Philadelphia. Probably the one they had the best chance in, though, was against San Francisco. That first one, Wilbur Marshall ran them all over, and Harold Carmichael came up big with Jaworski. The second one, the 49ers, Joe Montana hit that pass to Dwight Clark back to the end zone, third down. Everson Walls couldn't get there. Dorsett did fumble in near midfield. We'll never know what happened if it wasn't for the fumble. Danny was on a mission. And the next year, they got beat by Washington. Dexter Manley was having a field day. That's when there was real rivalry. Football had real rivalry. That was a real rivalry. But it got me thinking, though. Now, Romo botched that extra point against Seattle. And of course, the Green Bay pass in the end zone, which should have been a touchdown, wasn't. So he had a couple of closies. Stat-wise, talent-wise, he was better. I said this about Tony Romo, and it may not be popular. Had he been able to win one Super Bowl with what he had, he'd have been the best quarterback in Dallas since Roger Staubach. I'd have put him over Danny White easily. And I'd have taken him over Aikman, too, with one Super Bowl because he had less to work with. But he could really, talent-wise, Jerry Jones loved him. How you think he got that Blazer job right now with CBS? It wasn't just because he could smile on cue. He got hooked up, but he was that guy that just didn't have that career to match it. There are some guys that they got talent, but it doesn't carry over well. So, anyway, that's my thoughts and my takes. It's a good question and debate because if you watch them both play, and they both got arguments, but I got to go with Romo on this one. But tell me what you think. Danny White versus Tony Romo. Who was the better Dallas Cowboy quarterback that didn't get to the big dance? Who you like? Please like, subscribe, and please hit that membership. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay true, stay real, stay woke, stay full. And you never know. If Dak Prescott doesn't ever win in Dallas, he might get into this 3-headed argument. It'll be interesting, though, but let me know what you think. All right, I'm out. Peace.